$100,000 is disappearing from Tampa home values in specific neighborhoods, and most first-time buyers have no idea which ones. You're ready to own. You've saved the down payment, your credit is solid, and Tampa's market looks attractive compared to the coasts. But here's what the data shows. According to research from the National Association of Realtors, certain geographic zones in Tampa face hidden risks that could slash your home value by 10-20% within 5-7 years. That's not a market correction. That's a $100K personal financial hit waiting to happen. Most first-time homebuyers believe Tampa is a safe, stable investment market. The reality is different. Geographic risk, defined as neighborhood-level exposure to flood zones, infrastructure gaps, population shifts, and property tax escalation, isn't random, it clusters. And when it hits hard. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what geographic risks look like in Tampa, which neighborhoods carry the heaviest exposure, and how to run your own risk assessment before you sign. Let's start with the core problem. Tampa's median home price sits around $385,000 as of Q4 2024. That sounds stable until you zoom into specific neighborhoods. Research data shows that homes in flood-prone East Tampa and certain unincorporated Hillsborough County areas have appreciated 18-22% over the last 3 years, but that appreciation is built on borrowed time. Why? Infrastructure hasn't kept pace, flood mitigation is incomplete, and property taxes are rising faster than incomes in those zip codes. Here's where it gets worse. A $385,000 home with a 10% geographic risk discount lands at $346,500. A 15% correction puts you at $327,250. A 20% correction, which happened in similar markets post-2008, drops you to $308,000. If you bought at peak and put down 10%, you're now $38,000 underwater on a $346,500 mortgage. That's the $100K risk we're talking about for a household. It's catastrophic. But that's not all. Let's talk about the opportunity cost of ignoring geographic risk. If you invest in a neighborhood with high geographic risk, you're not just risking the $100,000, you're also missing out on potential long-term gains. For example, a neighborhood with low geographic risk could see a 5-7% annual appreciation, resulting in a $20,000 to $27,000 increase in value over 5 years. That's a significant difference in the long run. Data indicates that neighborhoods most vulnerable to this risk share 3 traits. First, they are in or adjacent to FEMA flood zones. Second, they're experiencing rapid gentrification without corresponding infrastructure investment. Third, property tax assessments are climbing faster than regional income growth. In Tampa, the neighborhoods that check all 3 boxes include East Tampa, zip 33,605, 33,610, parts of unincorporated Hillsborough 34,612, and select areas in Iba City transitional zones. Now here's the hidden detail most agents won't mention. HOA fees in these up-and-coming neighborhoods are climbing too. Average HOA costs in stabilized Tampa neighborhoods run $200-$350 per month. In geographic risk zones, they're climbing toward $450-$600 monthly because special assessments for drainage, road repairs, and flood mitigation are common. That's an extra $400, $800, $400 per year baked into your carrying costs. But what about the potential for revitalization in these neighborhoods? Couldn't the city's investment in infrastructure and amenities increase property values? The answer is yes, but it's not a guarantee. In fact, research shows that neighborhood revitalization efforts can be a double-edged sword. While they may increase property values in the short term, they can also lead to gentrification, displacement of long-time residents, and increased costs for homeowners. So what should you do? Run a geographic risk assessment before you make an offer. Pull FEMA flood maps for the exact property. Check property tax trends over the last 5 years. If they're climbing 8% annually while the neighborhood median income is flat or declining, that's a red flag. Research planned infrastructure projects. If there's no public commitment to stormwater or road improvements in the next 3-5 years, that zip code is higher risk. Second, get a Phase I environmental assessment. It costs $400-$600 but can reveal subsurface risks, poor soil stability, historical contamination, or wetland encroachment that lower long-term value. Third, talk to the local assessor's office about rezoning plans. Rezoning from residential to mixed-use can tank single-family home values in a 6-12-month window. And here's an additional step. Review the neighborhood's comprehensive plan. A well-planned neighborhood with a clear vision for the future can increase property values and reduce geographic risk. Look for plans that prioritize infrastructure investment, community engagement, and environmental sustainability. The delta here is critical. Believing Tampa is universally safe versus understanding that geographic risk is hyperlocal. A $385,000 home 3 blocks away could have 0 geographic exposure. Your choice of 3 blocks matters more than your choice of city. The research is clear. Geographic risk in Tampa's market is real, quantifiable, and worth $100,000 $0.000 of your attention before closing. Let's summarize the key takeaways. Geographic risk is a critical factor in Tampa's real estate market. Certain neighborhoods carry higher exposure to flood zones, infrastructure gaps, and property tax escalation, and a $100,000 risk is at stake for first-time homebuyers. By running a geographic risk assessment, getting a Phase I environmental assessment, and reviewing the neighborhood's comprehensive plan, you can make an informed decision and avoid the potential pitfalls of geographic risk. The biggest takeaway: geographic risk isn't destiny, but it's information. Real estate rewards research, and with the right information, you can make a smart investment decision. So don't gamble with your $100,000. Take the time to understand geographic risk in Tampa's market, and you'll be rewarded with a smarter, more informed investment decision. See you in the next deal.